Welcome to ElectroOnline. The next topic in our JEE main test deals with the stopping potential. So why did I put this in the E&M section? Because it essentially is the photoelectric effect, which belongs to modern physics, but it does require some understanding of E&M principles, so I thought this would be a better place to put it. All right, let's read the problem together. It says, the stopping potential in the context of the photoelectric effect depends on the following property of incident electromagnetic radiation, and they give us four possible answers: amplitude, phase, frequency, or intensity. Now, the drawing did not come with the test. I just put it there for the interest of time, but essentially we have a vacuum tube here. We have a cathode and an anode. We have a varying power source that can change the voltage across the two plates. And we're assuming that we're going to have a photon incident onto the cathode, freeing an electron and giving it energy to jump across the gap. Now, if the potential difference is great enough, it can actually stop that electron and keep it from reaching the other side. Because essentially, it's being repelled by this side, so if you make the potential difference large enough, it will not be able to jump across. So, how do we figure out the answer? Well, the first thing we need to understand is that when you move a charge across the distance between two plates, for example, capacitor plates, if we have a positive side over here, and we have a negative side over here, and let's say that we want to move an electron from the positive side to the negative side, and of course that's going to take a certain amount of work. The amount of work that it takes is equal to the force times the distance. And of course the force between two capacitor plates is going to be the electric field times the charge that you're moving. Let's say it's charge Q, so that means that the work is going to be equal to EQ times D. And then we also should know that by definition the potential between the two plates is equal to, potential is going to be equal to the work that it takes to move something across the plates divided by the charge that we move. And of course in this case that's going to be EQD divided by Q, and since the Q's cancel, that's equal to E times D. But the important part that we need to know for this particular problem is this relationship right here. The amount of work required to move a charge across the two plates divided by the charge equals the potential difference. Or we can say that the voltage times Q is equal to the work it takes to move the charge across. Now, the work, of course, would be the same as the amount of work required to stop an electron from moving across the gap. And of course, once a photon hits the plate, it's going to free an electron and it's going to have a certain amount of kinetic energy. So in other words, the work is essentially equal to the kinetic energy required to stop that particular electron. That's equal to the potential times Q. And then we should also know that the energy deposited onto the plate by a photon is going to be equal to the Planck's constant times the frequency. So that's equal to the energy deposited onto the plate. And then one more thing we should know is that the kinetic energy of the freed electron is going to be equal to energy deposited, h times f by the photon, minus the work function, the amount of energy it takes to remove it from the plate. It usually takes a little bit of energy to get it away from the plate, and then the remaining energy will be the kinetic energy. All right, so if we now plug that in here, we can now say that V times Q is equal to HF minus the work function, and if we divide both sides by Q, like this, we essentially then have the potential difference, which is the stopping potential we're looking for, is going to be equal to H over Q times F minus the stopping potential divided by Q. Now, of course, this is just a constant, right? That's a constant, that's a constant. H and Q are constant for the charge of an electron and Planck's constant, so you can see that the only two variables are that the amount of stopping potential definitely depends on the frequency of the incoming photon. And so when we then look at the four choices, we can see that the frequency is what we're looking for. That is related to the stopping potential. The greater the frequency, the more energy the incoming photon has, the greater the stopping potential needed to stop the electron. And that is how we find the answer.